Someone sent this to me and I wanted to take a look at it. This is actually a channel that we've reacted to before, Pick a Side. So shout out to Pick a Side. If you guys want to go follow their stuff, please do. But yeah, someone told me that this was a good video. So I don't think I'll watch the whole thing, but I do want to see what the argument is here. So it says we got into a heated Victor Wembanyama debate. Now, from my recollection, all right, it's been a while since I've been on their channel. This guy typically has some pretty strange Spurs takes, some pretty awful Spurs takes from what I remember, but maybe that's improved. And usually the rest of everyone else is pretty reasonable. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. Do we have closed captions here? Sure. Yeah, cool. All right. You guys can't hear that. They started off hot.
I'm not trying to slight Bam. I'm not being disrespectful to Bam. It's just Wemby's fucking all world.
Well, Wemby's 20. His IQ is just gonna be.
And Wemby's already in top 3 convos.
With what?
In the world.
Oh, you mean like best?
Oh, I don't mean to stop a lot. Like I said, we're not gonna go through this whole thing. Wemby top 3? I don't think Wemby's in top 3 conversations. That might be a little hyperbolic. I feel like he's in top 5 conversations. Is he top 3 is reaching, but top 6, 7 maybe? Yeah, I don't know if he's in top 3 conversations right now.
Player?
He's that fucking great.
He's not in top 3 conversations. You made that.
When Wemby is arguably already the best two-way in the game.
Top 3 defensive player. He's in the top 1 defensive players. Like, yeah, But I think he's just saying overall, right?
Top 3 conversation. You don't get into top 3 conversations.
Is Wemby not the best two-way player in the league?
Drew.
Is he the best two-way player in the league? Yes or no?
Drew. You don't get into top 3 conversations.
Who's the best defender right now?
Because of 20 games. You don't. Like, you don't get into a joke conversation.
Top 10.
Who's a better two-way player? Giannis is a better two-way player than Wemby.
Is he right now?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes.
Fucking serious?
Is he better than two-way?
Yes, he is.
In defensive impact, it is comfortably
two-way player.
Comfortably Wemby.
Better passer.
Oh, I'm in a weird spot right now. Because I'm loving his argument, but I think he's absolutely wrong. Hold on. I want you guys to see his face when he... Hold on. Oh, I'm a terrible content creator. I can't fix anything. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Now I know what I'm doing. Look at me over here learning. All right. Yeah, this is a tough situation for me, man, because like I love the energy, okay? I love the enthusiasm, but I don't know about that. I don't know about Wemby being the best two-way because his offense is so strange sometimes. You know what I mean? AD is soft as Charmin. Did they even mention AD? Top 5 players show up every game. Wemby's not there yet. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Wemby is the best two-way right now. Okay, Darwin. I mean, I'm gonna let it play out. I'm sorry. We're only like a minute in.
It's not even close.
Much better. Yeah, Wemby's still a great passer.
You give great to everybody that can just make a pass to an open player.
True. That's not even true.
He's a good passer.
He is he's a really good passer.
He's not Giannis.
Oh, he's not.
He's not.
I don't know.
You're disrespecting Giannis.
Giannis is having.
Wemby and Giannis. My bias aside, I think it's the same level. Wemby's a pretty good passer. He's a pretty good passer. You can't disrespect his passing. Giannis not even a playmaker. Yeah, he's a really good passer.
No, this is why we say you're glazing Wemby.
I'm not.
You are.
I'm not. He's one of the most efficient. He's one of the most efficient scorers at the basket.
So
Giannis. True.
Of course.
If he's a better two-way player than Giannis, he's the best player in the world.
He got a seat at the table.
No, he doesn't.
He's got a seat at the table.
Because of 25 games? He's at the seat with Joker?
That's wrong. Because all of last season.
Okay. Hold on. Top NBA players 2024, 25. Let's see what we got here. So this is back in October. See what ESPN had to say about this, because I'll tell you, top 3 just seems like a bit of a stretch, right? He's not better than Luka. Okay, I don't think And this is this is literally a Spurs channel, okay? I mean, you can see I have my little Wemby Funko Pop right here, okay? This is a Spurs channel, and I can't say that with a straight face that he's better than Luka. He's not better than Luka. I don't think he's better than Giannis. I don't think he's better than Jokic. I don't think he's better than SGA. I do think Wemby's better than Tatum, even though Tatum's like really great. I think I would take Wemby over Tatum. Curry. Gosh, Curry's so freaking clutch, man. Oh my God, he's so good. I won't do that. I won't say Wemby's better than. I'll say Wemby's better than LeBron right now. Yeah, this list is a little whack. It's a little whack. Wemby should be in this combo. But yeah, no, he's not top 3. And if the table is just top 3, I don't agree. But if the table's top 5, I think you could give him. I think you could give him Curry as washed. I'm trying to be respectful here, man. Curry had some really crazy performances still this season. He just brings so much. It's just so much gravity. All right. Anyways, sorry.
I had him top 11 coming into the season. You said I was an idiot. Now we're talking about him as the best two-way player in the league. I'm not wrong. He has the biggest defensive impact in the NBA. He is already one of. What do you mean?
What? Okay, now you. Okay, all right. So we got two things. These guys gotta come in and say something. All right. We have a Wemby Glazer. Is that what the kids say? Glazer, which is fine. All right, we're here for that. And then we have a Wemby hater, because that's a crazy statement to say by what metric. What do you mean by what? Every metric? By every metric, Wemby is phenomenal defensively. Now you're just being a contrarian. Okay, if you can't even acknowledge that, that's pretty wild. So you got two people on opposite spectrums here. Okay, I completely agree with him that Wemby is phenomenal, right? And I would even go as far as to say Wemby's top 5. Top 3, I think is pushing it. Wemby hater? Yeah, he's starting to sound like a Wemby hater. Bro just hating at this point. That's a little weird.
The biggest defensive impact in the NBA. He is already one of. What do you mean?
What metric?
Go look at defensive rating. Go look at shot blocks. Go watch a basketball game. Defensive impact.
We're back at shot blocking.
Again, watch the game.
He literally. Oh, God, I hate this. Oh, I hate this. I hate when people do this. Where it's like you can give them a few stats. Like nothing was going to be good enough, bro. There's nothing he would have gave him that would have been good enough. What about defensive LeBron? I think is that even how you say it? I know it's D LeBron. Did you just say defensive LeBron? That's a weird way of saying it. But like defensive LeBron, he's top tier in the league. Like, I don't know. Yeah, and literally what he's saying here, just go watch a game. You can see how people avoid Wemby in like every single LeBron's D. Yeah, you just say LeBron's D. You can see how people avoid Wemby at all costs all the time, every single game. Come on. You're just hating.
Everything defense, he is one of the most.
Like
he's the best offensive player in the league.
Offensively, no, best offensive player in the league is Jokic. That is not even
Luka's a better offensive player.
Fair, agreed.
Is he better than
SGA
Luka?
too.
As a player,
Is he better than Luka?
Luka's so great offensively that no. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like yes, Wemby is elite, defensively, right? He is elite defensively, and then offensively, he's good or really good. But you have Luka, who's like legendary offensively, and he's so good offensively that it affects everything, and defense doesn't matter as much because of how great he is on the offensive end. So yeah, no, he's not better than Luka overall, but at least he's being consistent. I guess he probably had Kawhi as like a top 3 player when he was in his prime as well. I'm assuming.
I would take Wemby.
Is he better than SGA?
You take offensive.
No Shea. What? I said Shea's better than Wemby. Are you talking about them?
As a player,
Is he better than Luka?
I would take Wemby.
Is he better than SGA?
You take offensive.
I would take SGA. I would take Wemby. Excuse me.
He's better than Tatum.
I would take Wemby.
He's better than.
I'll tell you what. The two-way play. It's Giannis. It's Tatum. It's Wemby. But if we're being completely honest, the defense goes
Tatum
to
over
Wemby.
AD?
Yeah.
Two-way? Stop.
KD's at that table too.
He is, but the playmaking of Tatum has been
respect
incredible.
Tatum because he's a wing. He's not in that conversation. He's a tier under.
Tatum's playmaking makes me think about it a lot.
Victor Wembanyama is a phenomenal talent, and if we're talking about
you're the
building
best
a
two-way player, you have a
franchise
seat at the
around
table.
somebody with Wemby's potential, yes, there are very few players in the history of the game that look like Wemby. But when we're having these conversations, we just can't discount the body of work that all these players have had and the time that they've put into their craft. Giannis Antetokounmpo has won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. He's won Defensive Player of the Year multiple times. He's been a multiple time MVP.
But if it's the case, then LeBron's still the best in the world.
He's already.
We can't do
that.
that.
No, but LeBron is
That's a good point. 40.
Giannis is in his prime.
Agreed.
Jokic is in his
and
prime.
Giannis is not nowhere near that. Wemby, excuse me, is nowhere near that. But even still, you're probably looking at the best two-way in the game.
Giannis went to the NBA Finals. He
Offensively,
won.
who's better?
He dropped 50 in Game 6.
Between Victor and Giannis, who's better offensive player?
Giannis is better.
What is he better at?
He's a better ball handler. He's a better passer. He's a better finisher. This year, he's a better mid-range shooter.
That is true. Guys, we can't be biased here. Yes, Giannis is a better ball handler than Wemby. It's not as pretty as what Wemby can do, but no, he's a better ball handler than Wemby. Let's see what some of the chat's saying. Bro, you smoking some out there? Shea is MVP this year. Okay, you guys are talking amongst each other. I was like, because I'm literally saying SGA is great. I do love seeing 20-year-old Wemby get compared to all the superstars in the middle of prom. Yeah, like there's like no disrespect. This is actually the fact that this is a conversation amongst, ball heads, NBA heads or whatnot is a big deal in and of itself. Even if you agree, disagree, or whatnot, the fact that we can even talk about it, Giannis does have tighter handles, less turnovers. Yeah, he's just a better ball handler. Like Wemby might have more in his bag, possibly, skill wise, but it's not about how it looks necessarily. You can have very tight ball handles and you're not doing like crazy Jamal Crawford moves, like LeBron James, I would say one of the best ball handlers that we've ever seen, but he's not out there looking like prime Chris Paul or anything. It just looks different. Is that pick a side? Yeah, it's pick a side. Wemby got more in his bag, but turns it over and loses his handles. Yeah, and by him having less strength as well, I think that translates to losing his handle so often too. Like he's easily knocked off his spots, and I think that's part of ball handling as well. You shouldn't be able to just get knocked off of your spots so easily, and Wemby gets knocked off his spots very easily. That's no disrespect to Wemby. Obviously, we love Wemby here, but yes, Giannis is a better ball handler. Let's see if he can make an argument against that. I don't know.
Okay,
let's go back.
What is he better at?
He's a better ball handler. He's a better passer. He's a better finisher. This year, he's a better mid-range shooter.
Okay, the mid-range
passer,
he's moving me,
finisher,
but as a shooter, come on,
post-up player,
playmaker,
finishing at the basket. When
yep, post-up player, playmaker. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a very high IQ player. I don't think Giannis gets a lot of. I feel like they're neck and neck on that. That's just me. I could be wrong on that. I just think they're neck and neck on that.
He's still been
passer,
he's moving me,
finisher,
but as a shooter, come on,
post-up player,
playmaker.
Finishing at the basket, Wemby's still been one of the most efficient
outside of
in the
shooting
game.
threes. There's nothing that Wemby is better at than Giannis offensively.
Handling the ball, Wemby is a better hit ball.
I don't think Wemby has the same amount of attempts as Giannis.
And you guys really are disrespecting Wemby's passing.
No, you're disrespecting Giannis.
All these guys.
I'm not.
I do think that they're disrespecting Wemby's passing, but they are completely right, especially the post-up game. Like Giannis not a better passer though. Yeah, that's where I disagree with them. Giannis is a really good passer, obviously, but like, I don't know. That's kind of like, dude, you guys watch Wemby, right? Like, he's a really great passer. Are you serious?
No, I've been very vocal on Giannis passing.
Giannis is to you the best power forward in the history of the NBA.
No.
Who's the best power forward to
Duncan.
you? So Giannis to you is number 2.
Yeah.
Almost
2,
gave me a
3.
stroke.
Giannis is right now at the peak of his powers. Would you not say right now this regular season is, if not one of the best regular seasons he's had in his career?
Sure.
And Wemby's better than that?
It's pretty fucking close, man.
No, it's not.
Because defensively, I'm watching.
So why isn't Wemby in the MVP conversation?
He is.
He's in the MVP conversation.
Right now, he's
he is in the MVP conversations. Oh man, this is like, this is crazy. It's just going back and forth. It's like they make great arguments, and then he makes a bad one. Then he makes a great argument, and then they make a weird one. It's like, what the heck? Clan, you made a video a few years ago about these guys on this podcast talk trash about the Spurs not drafting good players. Remember? Yeah, I remember going over that. Yeah, that's why when I started off this segment, I was like, I remember this dude having terrible Spurs takes, and everyone else being pretty reasonable. They talk over each other. It's just a conversation. This is a normal conversation. You can tell that they're friends.
6. Right now he's 6 on the NBA ladder.
Go back to you.
Oh, he's in the conversation for sure.
Isn't he like the 14th?
Look at what the defense has jumped from last year to this year. You guys wanted defensive rating, you got it. You guys want results too.
Hold on.
Right now he's 6. Right now he's 6 on the NBA ladder.
Go back to you.
Oh, he's in the conversation for sure.
Isn't he like the 14th?
Look at what the defense has jumped from last year to this year. You guys wanted defensive rating.
It's like he's just kind of hating over here. Yeah, that's absolutely true though. He is on the ladder. Let's see. NBA MVP ladder. He might have gone up on the ladder, honestly. But yes, he's undoubtedly in the conversation. Let's see. I think, let's see. Here we go. Kia MVP ladder. Victor Wembanyama begins to knock on top 5 doors. So yeah, he's right at 6. So we can see Jokic, Giannis, SGA, Luka, Tatum, and then we got Wemby at 6. And he definitely deserves it. What I was actually really happy about is that Wemby's at 6 and De'Aaron Fox is at 9th. And you guys know I actually do want us to go after De'Aaron Fox. That's what I really was excited about. I knew Victor would be in there, but De'Aaron Fox is a big deal. It's so funny too, because last season, or actually this offseason, I remember you guys were bringing up to me like how much you think Wemby would average. And I remember telling you, hold on, let's go to Victor Wembanyama here. I remember bringing up that if he got to 27, I think it was 27, right? If he got to 27 points per game, because that's what we really thought with the addition of Chris Paul, that he can go up to 27. And I'd say if he's in 27, he's legitimately like top 3 MVP like candidates, right? And it's so funny because he's close to that, but he's around 26 and he's number 6 right now. So yeah, because we already knew, because steals were going to stay the same. Blocks were going to be the same, if not better, which as you can see, they're better. We knew assists would be, I thought the assists might be a slightly less, but it's been the exact same. Super impressive there. Felt rebounds would be the same. Everything I thought would be the same. And if points improved, I'm like, okay, this is a MVP candidate right now, right? It's crazy. It actually is crazy that you're averaging 4 blocks, 26 points. There's games we watch Wemby, bro, and we're literally jumping on stream angry. Like, oh, Wemby, what were you doing, right? Like, there's so many games where we watch every single play and we come out of it like, oh my God, Wemby, come on, you could have done better there. And the fact that we say that and these are his stats is crazy. We're gonna see, just like we see with saw and see with Giannis, we're gonna see some generational numbers from this dude, man. Wemby's gonna be insane. What do you think, Clan? What was the question? De'Aaron Fox, a 9 is clearly a move of Kings to have more weight in trades, right? I mean, I recognize Fox being really good at the moment, but 9, really? I don't think it changes anything as far as like it really going to come down to how people view him. It's not going to come down to, oh, he's an MVP votes. I mean, if a team needs him or they think they need him, I mean, the market is going to tell you what he's worth. So I don't think that changes anything. Anyways, all right, back to this video. This actually is fun. I'm having a lot of time, a good time right now.
Rating, you got it. You guys want results too. We watch what they do on a night in, night out basis.
They're not winning.
But it's not like they're bottom feeders.
I think
What's
They're bottom 5 seed.
What's their record?
I'm about to tell you right now.
I think when
We're a pretty good seed. We're not doing bad.
he has put himself in
think so.
top 6 talks, because you have the old players that are kind of getting washed away that
He's
you
better
take
than KD.
Wemby over.
Yes.
I think Wemby right now,
They're the
I would
11th.
take him over Kevin Durant. Even with Anthony Edwards before the
It's
season.
Giannis, it's Joke, it's Wemby.
We're not just going to
over Luka.
disrespect
I'm
Luka and
taking
SGA
Wemby
like that.
over Luka because the defense is otherworldly.
That's an offensive generational player.
And Wemby has been.
No, wait.
Well, Wemby's a defensive generational. I mean, I think he's. Oh man, I don't like hearing arguments from him, because it's like, even when he's right, he's wrong because he's coming from the wrong place. You know, like he kind of just don't like the Spurs, I think.
An unbelievable offensive talent.
You know what Luka is in the playoffs?
He's a god.
So then why are you? Can we at least wait to see the playoffs for you take him over?
I know
somebody
what I'm watching.
You know, but you know what you're watching.
What I'm watching.
You already have the background and the information of what Luka is in the playoffs. This is why we say you're glazing. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense.
It makes sense when you're
statistical evidence of this.
As a rookie, finished second in DPOY. As a
I don't
rookie,
give a fuck about that. Tim Duncan doesn't have those. I don't care about that.
Okay,
I don't. Let's keep that out.
Wait.
It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. You have no statistical evidence of this.
As a rookie, finished second in DPOY. As a rookie,
I don't give a fuck about that. Tim Duncan doesn't have those. I don't care about.
You don't care about Defensive Player of the Year? A rookie nearing Defensive Player of the Year? Because Duncan don't have that? What? What are we talking about? Weird take. I don't know. Like, I don't care about MVP because, and I don't know. Let's see, best players to not win MVP. Just out of curiosity, let's see top 25 NBA player. I mean, defensive player of the year is one thing. You say MVP. So if I compare someone to Jerry West, or if I compare someone to possibly getting an MVP, it doesn't matter because Jerry West doesn't have one, Baylor doesn't have one, Dwayne Wade doesn't have one, Thomas doesn't have one, Pippen had, like, great players don't always get every award. Yeah. Who did Tim Duncan even lose to for a defensive player of the year? Do you guys know? Some trivia. Let me know. Ben Wallace? That's justified. Garnett and Ben Wallace? That's absolutely justified. Shaq, I think, and maybe Dwight. I feel like at that point in Duncan's career, he was slightly older, so it's fine you losing to Dwight. Ben Wallace is definitely justified. Are you kidding me? He was in the conversations, and that's what we're talking about here, being in the conversations. Tim Duncan was in the conversations. He's like, hey, he was close to being defensive player of the year. He's like, I don't care, Tim Duncan doesn't have one. And it's like, but Tim Duncan was in the conversation. And Wemby is a rookie.
You know what you're watching. You already have the background and the information of what Luka is in the playoffs. This is why we say you're glazing. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. You have no statistical evidence of this.
As a rookie, finished second in DPOY. As a rookie,
I don't give a fuck about that. Tim Duncan doesn't have those. I don't care about that. Okay, I don't. Let's keep that out of it.
You know what's really getting me? You're talking like you don't watch Wemby. That's what I'm talking about.
You put him over Luka.
Yeah. You don't. I don't think you watch Wemby. I'm with them.
No, because you asked me what he does defensively. You talk like, what does Wemby not do defensively? Tell me. Because you watch him. You watch Wemby, right?
This isn't a defensive conversation.
No, but I'm asking because you're talking about now Tim Duncan doesn't have a DPOY. Forget about it. That's not what I'm talking about. Because you keep asking me about Wemby and about his defense. Tell me, what doesn't he do? Tell me what doesn't Wemby do defensively?
In comparison to what?
No, that's exactly.
In comparison to what?
No, you're lying. We were talking about Bam versus Victor. You're lying.
No, I'm asking. Hold on, no.
I don't even know what he's asking me.
Because he's been asking me and
you don't know what he's asking? He just said, what does Wemby not do defensively? That doesn't make him like the best defensive player in the world. Like, what does he do? He lost the argument? I don't even know. That's not even a hard question. I feel like he just want to hate on Wemby. Or like he's like irritated. And like I said, I'm sure they're all friends or whatever. But like he's irritated with him for his crazy amount of Wemby praise. And some of it's a little overblown, okay? Wemby in top 3 conversations, even as the biggest Spurs fan in the world, I think that's wild right now. But like, what?
Challenge me on some things. So I'm asking you, what doesn't Wemby do on defense?
In comparison to who?
In general.
In comparison to who?
No, in basketball right now.
In comparison to
Wemby
who?
do?
Everybody! Compare Wemby to everybody! He hits like a new record every game. Just compare him to everybody. Everyone who ever lived. Every NBA player that ever lived in the history of everything. Yes. any universe. Watch Space Jam. He's better than all the Looney Tunes. Everybody. In comparison to what? Everybody. What are we even talking about? Wemby compared to everybody. Who are we comparing Wembanyama to? Everybody. That's crazy, bro.
At an elite level defensively.
Wemby is top 5 to 7 right now. Yeah, sure. Like it's I think that. I think he's definitely top 10. I'm gonna say top 5. I'll say 5th, but if somebody wanted to say 6 or 7, that's fine. If you say top 3, if you say the best or top 2, I don't agree with you. I think there's too many inconsistencies, and that's crazy. The fact that he averaged 26 points and there's inconsistencies. He's top 7, but on any given night he can be top 3 to 5. That is the real take. That's actually absolutely true.
Comparison to who?
In general.
No, just in general.
Anthony Davis to Bam.
Answer the question.
To the best defensive players in the world.
To Bam.
Victor's an elite rim protector.
Yes.
Elite rim deterrence.
Correct. Which is essentially the same thing.
He's no, it's not. It's not.
No,
this is what you. This is why you get confused.
Rim protection
It's not.
is the act of blocking a shot.
Don't even
Rim deterrence and rim protection is the. Go look in a fucking Webster's thesaurus.
No, it's actually.
Hold on.
It's not.
Is the act?
No,
it's not.
It's not. Rim protector.
Yes.
Elite rim deterrence.
Correct. Which is essentially the same thing.
He's no,
it's
it's not.
not.
It's not.
Essentially.
This is what you. This is why you get confused.
Rim protection
It's not.
is the act of blocking a shot.
Don't even
Rim
know why you
deterrence and rim protection is the. Go look in a fucking Webster's thesaurus.
No, it's actually.
Wait, you don't, dude. They're like, he doesn't. Dude, you don't have to argue. This is why it's getting frustrating because you don't have to. It's tit for tat. You don't have to argue that. They reach for stupid details. Oh, you just don't have to argue with that. They're advocating for Wemby being a great defensive player. Why are you arguing that those are the same things? They're not the same things. There is a difference. Like I would say that Jakob, right, when he played for the Spurs, I mean even now, but Jakob Poeltl, I would say he's a pretty good rim protector, but he didn't give much deterrence, you know. Why is he arguing this?
Two different definitions.
Rudy Gobert is
altering
great
the
at rim
They
deterrence.
talk to me like I don't have 2 fucking degrees.
Rim deterrence.
It is helping you because you have 2 things that Wemby's elite at. So I would take.
Okay, fine.
I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. You need to come in and be like, hey, man, don't argue this. Why are you arguing?
Deterrence. No.
Go ahead.
It is different. Okay. Rim deterrence is the act of a player not taking a shot because you're in the paint.
If you're deterring a shot, aren't you also protecting the shot?
No, because protection is the act of the ball going up and your ability to protect.
Let's not get caught in semantics anymore.
Regardless.
So continue. What isn't he? What else? What else?
Because look, I'll say this. I mean, Ja already said that he's not going to dunk as much as he used to. Okay, but Ja would definitely try a shot on Jakob Poeltl, even though he was a pretty good rim protector for us. But that was not the case with Wemby, right? Like he had that one dunk that kind of was on Wemby, not really. He didn't try it.
Can't believe we had to fucking explain that.
I mean, they go hand in hand.
They're synonyms.
Don't talk down to him, man. He's just passionate.
Is there any player who's in lead at one and bad at the other?
Miles Turner he's a great rim protector, not great at rim deterrence. He blocks a lot of shots. But
so rim protection is just about blocking shots.
No, rim protect. This is where
this is like gravity all over.
No, this is the best example.
I got it. I just look it up. We looked it up. We can just get the definition out of the way. In the NBA, rim deterrence is the ability of a player to prevent opponents from attempting shots close to the rim. Okay. It's a combination of shot defense, which is forcing misses near the rim, and shot deterrence, which is preventing opponents from attempting shots near the rim.
That's what deterrence means.
Definition of rim protector is a defensive player who combines shot defense and shot deterrence to prevent opponents from attempting shots near the rim.
So the definition's in the definition.
In the definition.
Yeah, so rim deterrence.
So the name is in the definition. So the definition of the other word is in the definition.
Yeah, so a rim protection.
Regardless, it's a positive for Wemby if he's elite at both.
Well, obviously, you just wanted definition to the
he's
two.
not.
It doesn't matter. We're just arguing semantics at this point. I personally I see them as I see the difference between the two, but like I think that they will overlap more often than not. But yeah,
Not a lead at on the defensive
this
side.
is a pointless argument, dude. It did not need to go in this direction. I don't know why they went down this road. You could have he should have just took what he said, like, he's great at this, he's great. Like, I don't even know. I hope that they can get back to the point of what else is Wemby great at, because it would be nice to hear him talk positively about Wemby and then try to make an argument that anyone else is on that same level.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
We just explained that.
So he's the best defensive player in the world. My whole point is,
I just think it's a step too far to say he's the best in the world. He's top 10 in the world.
I'm saying he's in the conversation. He has a seat at the table.
I watched every single Spurs game. I think he's the best in the world.
You lie.
What's their defensive rating?
No, you said he was number 1.
I didn't say that. I said go look at defensive rating.
Defensive rating has Alfred Sengun at number 2. Do we really want to use that stat?
Go look at the team defense.
Not for player defensive rating. Not player defensive rating.
Go look at team defense.
Team defense?
I mean,
because Rudy Gobert gets fucking thrown off team defense. That's why he won the DPOY last year. And fair enough.
No, it's on and off, but whatever.
I would say look at his on and off numbers better.
Yes, I will.
Now here's the thing. Nobody's discounting Wemby's defense. We know he's an elite defender.
No, you're trying to. He kind of was. I don't think you realize that.
He's an elite defender. The issue with
you only talk about shot blocking. What else do you do? Deterrence and protection.
What else did you talk about?
What are we talking about? Him going out on the perimeter too.
The first thing you kept saying was he's an elite shot blocker. He's top 10 in shot blocker. That's all. Every time we talk about it.
We're getting stuck on that point. I think the point that I'm trying to make is the fact that Victor Wembanyama is an exceptional talent. We understand that. If you want to take Wemby over other players, that's fine. You could take anybody. You could take Tyler Hero over LeBron. I don't give a shit. You know, you could take anybody over anybody.
Shout out to the Constitution.
But based off,
it's not make that comparison. All right, it's not the same as taking Wemby over some of these other guys.
Their resume and what they've done to this point, you cannot objectively make a sound argument that Wemby's better than Giannis, Luka.
You can't do that though. You can't just be like it's based on what they've accomplished. I mean, when my whole thing with saying that Curry is better is he still brings a lot of gravity. These games, I mean, the Warriors are just nothing without him. I guess the Spurs are nothing without Wemby too, but.
Over LeBron and KD.
Or Jokic.
That's what happened.
Because SGA has been a first-team All-NBA team for the last 2 years. He's been healthy, and he's led OKC out of a rebuild.
Luka went into the top 5 essentially too, same way.
The Spurs
Back when?
He had more playoff moments.
The Spurs are the 15th ranked defensive unit in the league. 15th in defensive rating.
What's the on-off with Wemby?
Okay. Yeah, what's the on-off with Wemby, bro?
Let me see. I gotta go look that shit up.
I just don't.
Luka Doncic in his second NBA season,
the Cavs are 8.
Led the #1 offensive rating in NBA history in his second season. That's what Luka did in his second year. And then he had playoff moments going up against a prime Kawhi Leonard and played at an elite level. Luka Doncic is top 3 in points per game.
Wemby has not
in the
played
playoffs.
every game, by the way.
That's fair.
Luka Doncic has made 2 conference finals. He's made an NBA finals. Yes, he's done that. So based off the resume, he's better. Like, Wemby, if you want to take them over these other players, that's fine.
It's just I don't think any player in NBA history, maybe LeBron, I was like 7, has ever been the best player or top 3 in the world without ever making the playoffs. It's just hard to put him there.
I don't like the argument between Wemby and Luka. I don't like that one.
At the table when you were the best 2A in the game.
If you want, I think he's the 6th best player.
Brother, ain't no way somebody who hasn't even touched the playoffs got a seat at the table with the Joker and Luka and Giannis.
SGA was first team All-NBA.
He doesn't have a seat at the table with
and he was a top 10 player immediately.
He doesn't have a seat at the table
because he's not nearly as good as Wemby.
Nobody's arguing with SGA top 3.
No doubt. But my whole point is SGA got walked into these conversations after last year as well.
The year ended, right?
It took 2 first All-NBA, 2 first All-NBA to be now number 4.
And elite in the playoffs.
Number 4. He was amazing.
I just saw someone in the comments say they're like way too emotional. I got news for you. Every debate is like this, okay? Every Spurs Wemby debate or whatnot gets like this. Because there's people that's not ready to give Wemby that. There's other people that like this guy, like he sees how really good Wemby is and he's getting frustrated because this guy's hating on Wemby. Yeah. It's a weird spot right now. It's like Wemby isn't at the point where he deserves a lot of praise, unanimous praise yet. But then he's also not at a point where, you know, no one should give him love. Or that everyone should give him. I don't know what I just said. This is how me and my friends debate basketball, to be honest. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, because someone was like, oh, people just yelling over each other. It's like, this is how just people talk about basketball. It's pretty normal.
Against the Mavericks.
He was elite.
OKC, good series.
You could argue he's better than Luka.
Oh no,
in that
series. There's no arguments. It's concrete.
Yeah, outside the last game of the series, yeah, but SGA, that's how great he played.
When you watch Wemby, and we are less than 25 games into year 2, this is the best defender in basketball, and this is one of the best offensive players.
I think within the next 2 years he'll be at that table. I can't put him there yet.
So if we're already having him at number 6 and we're 24 games,
he'll be there.
Because and when I'm watching, and
I guess we can look at it that way. If he's top 6, isn't that kind of the conversation? No, it's a little further from the conversation, just a little bit. I think you have to be top 3 to be in the conversation, the genuine conversation. He's way better than Luka defensively. Yeah, he's easily he's way better than Luka defensively, but you know, Luka offensively is so legendary. I think that it does. I think that he is better than Wemby. This barbershop talk, yeah, kind of. I wonder if this guy's actually gonna look up on and off. I really hate that he interrupted him when he was giving Wemby praise, because now we're not gonna get any more Wemby praise.
The defensive impact is like this, and you're able to space the floor the way that he is, and he's one of the most efficient scorers at the cup. What can he do?
No, I don't think he really has
He's
any
a great
major
free throw
weaknesses.
shooter too. That's one thing that big men don't have.
It's just the resume that Jokic.
Did he give up on the on-off defensive stat?
Giannis and all these dudes have. He doesn't come close.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
And I feel like to be at that table, you got to have a resume.
We're talking about a champion, and a generational playoff player. And he is talking about, because of 28 fucking games, the dude has a table with these guys.
I'm not saying
it doesn't make
that
sense.
is bullshit,
This
because
is
again,
the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
for me, coming into the season, I said he was 11.
Tatum just won a ring.
Tatum's
He
not
didn't
as
get
good
a
as
seat at the
Wemby.
table.
No, he's
SGA
not as
just
good as
averaged
Wemby.
30 twice.
He's not as good as
SGA
Wemby.
just averaged 30
He's not
twice.
as good as
He didn't
Wemby.
get a seat at the table.
Tatum is not as good as Wemby.
But this dude might be like, what are we like? No, you don't
He
get
had
a
the
seat at the
most
table,
points in a
bro.
game 7 in
Like,
NBA
no,
history.
Never had a baseball there.
This is
Not a game 7.
we can't even say he never, because he's never played. He has no game. If I type in right now, Victor Wembanyama playoff game, I cannot find anything. I can't.
It's solely because he has no playoffs. That's it.
That's
You're robbing.
See, I hate when people do that too, because it's like, oh my god, so we just have to wait. Like, we can't acknowledge how great he is now. This is the same reason why Wemby wasn't able to win Defensive Player of the Year, because of this stupid argument where people just started to say, oh well, his team isn't good enough. It's like, guys, so you can't get any praise until your team is good enough. So they got to get out of a rebuild first before you can get any praise. I'm not sitting here saying, like, the argument isn't who do you want on your finals team right now, Wembanyama or Tatum. That's not the argument. Obviously, Tatum's more refined in his game right now. Obviously, he's an NBA champion. Like, no one's making that argument. It's just who right now is just a overall better player. Like, that should be the argument. It shouldn't be how many rings does Wemby have, dude. Are we really about to go down this same road? We do it every single time too, mind you. Actually, finding defensive stats on and off court actually is pretty difficult. Why is it so difficult to find? If anybody knows how to find this, please drop it in the chat. I'm looking for it right now.
Robbing him of his abilities.
Robbing him? No, Drew, that's been a thing.
He has to prove it.
Objectively watching him, he is one of the most talented,
He has
arguably
to
the most
prove
talented
it.
in the league.
So, Drew, when Michael Jordan was playing and when LeBron was
It
playing,
didn't take no fucking playoffs for people to realize Michael Jordan.
When Michael Jordan was playing, first of all, Michael Jordan made it his first year. So yeah, you're right. It didn't take them that because he already made it and he played great when he first got there. But I say all that to say, when Michael Jordan and LeBron James got into the league, it took people until about year 2 or 3.
Wemby's conference isn't the same as Michael Jordan's conference. It wasn't the same game. It was slightly different. Okay.
To understand, we may not say it publicly, but we know they're the best player in the league. MJ made the playoffs the first couple years. He had the 60 ball against Boston. LeBron, he made the playoffs year 2.
The most points ever, by the way.
LeBron, he made the playoffs year 2. You saw it. Just said there's a certain part in the NBA. Shaq, dominant, made the playoffs. I think year 1. There's a certain place in the NBA where we know, but in order to get into that conversation, you have to do it on the biggest stage in the NBA. For the NFL, the biggest stage is what? The Super Bowl, the playoffs, whatever it is, big time games on Thursday. For the NBA, the biggest stage is the playoffs.
I got news for you guys. Every single time Wemby is in front of those bright lights, any given moment, he show out. I would say the Olympics was a pretty big stage, but you know, I guess that's no biggie, right? Olympics not that big of a stage. That's not that big a deal. It's just the Olympics. It's just the Olympics. We have no reason to think that he's going to be in the same conversation as Luka and all these other guys, because he hasn't made a playoff series his rookie year. He didn't make the playoffs his rookie year, I guess. He does have a point. The guy with the beanie has a point though. Wemby's a big stage player. Like the fact that no one's bringing up the Olympics is kind of mind-boggling to me. Like it's kind of a big deal. In every single game that the Spurs are, you know, in front of people where the world is watching, Wemby has like crazy showings, bro. Like insane showings. There's no reason to believe that Victor Wembanyama won't be that guy once we're actually there. He's done it his entire career. His entire career. In France as well. Entire career he's done that. When the lights are bright, Wemby's right there. He doesn't shrivel up under the lights. There's no reason, like, that should be an argument right now.
While we was waiting to give SGA the nod was what? We had to see him in the playoffs.
I didn't
see him do it.
Bring up the Olympics.
But that's just a universal thing in the NBA. You have to wait. You cannot
make them say the Olympics doesn't matter.
The SGA conversation was we have to wait to put SGA in like the top 5.
Exactly.
It's like
Wemby's the top 10 player.
It's a different
Nobody is trying to disrespect Wemby.
When you are arguably the best two-way in the game, you deserve a seat.
He is disrespecting Wemby. Like, he's saying no one's trying to disrespect. He is disrespecting Wemby. I know you're not. He's not. He's just chilling, and he might be giving a little too much love, but.
Probably the best offensive player for like 5 years.
He has, and that's why he's been in top 3 conversations.
So why is Wemby, based off 80 games, already in a conversation with Luka? Mind you, Luka being arguably one of the best players in the playoffs for 4 straight years.
He's amazing.
How do you even sit there and look at the game?
By the way, just wanted to bring this up. Let's see. This is kind of crazy. The Eastern Conference, before Jordan got there. This is the year before Jordan got there. Kind of wild, because Jordan was drafted in 84. So this is the 83-84 season. And Bulls weren't that away from getting into the playoffs with 27 wins. 35 wins got you into the playoffs. So the whole argument of, well, this player made it to the playoffs, yada da da da, it is null and void. Like, what's the point? Why are we even talking about that? It was a completely different landscape in the NBA back then. Why are we talking about who made the playoffs back in the 80s? You know? And even then, if you want to compare Wemby to Jordan, Jordan being added to the Bulls added about 10 wins, right? He added about 10 wins. And I know the Spurs were absolutely trash last season, but if you want to talk about differentials, last season and this season, when they actually could add a little bit more talent, they're doing substantially better than they did last season. I don't know. It just wasn't that. Wemby added 0 wins. Yeah, Wemby did add 0 wins. And Wemby added more losses. But the Spurs, you know, how the Spurs look, we had a lot of veterans. And people don't think about that. Like, we had a lot of veterans before Wemby got there. And then when he did get there, like, then we were a super young team.
Game log and think, because there's 2 sides to even the Joker, okay, so Giannis has,
absolutely,
since you love Defensive Player of the Year award, Giannis has won it back-to-back.
Incredible.
And then he was an MVP. He's done that for about 6 or 7 years.
And a 50-ball.
Then a young man who's amazing, generational, unicorn, comes in. He does this for 30 games. You didn't have him in the conversation, like you had him top 10, but you have him in top 3. So now you have him in there right now. So he's done this for 30 games.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, he's in there with Giannis. That doesn't make sense. You're like, it doesn't make sense.
When you watch him and you understand what he's doing on a night-to-night basis. On the defensive side, we're talking about the best in the world.
You're too early to the party, brother.
No, I'm not. You're late. That's the sad part.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if this guy said he's going to be. Like, this guy was like, yeah, I'll give him a couple years. He's going to be, yeah, he'll be in that conversation.
Won't be late.
Watch the game. It's obvious. You don't need to ask me. You need to start.
Watching this clip actually, like, makes me want us to make the playoffs even more. I ain't gonna lie to you guys.
Going home and watching.
That doesn't make sense. It's like, it just doesn't. We're talking about 2 guys, the Joker and Giannis. They're top 15 ever. Hey, bro, you know how stupid this is? Bro, I kid you not, Drew. Like, I kid you not. We're talking about 2 players right now. So they're top 15 ever. And a dude who's played 30 games in a year. Mind you, he's been amazing. Yeah, he's at the table. Mind you, these 2 dudes haven't lost a fucking beat. They've actually got better.
Giannis got slighted more than any all-time great after.
You're sliding him right now.
And
you are sliding him right now.
And all I'm saying,
you're sliding the Joker too.
All I'm saying is, he's got a seat.
That's a point too. He is disrespecting some of the other guys.
the table,
I get
you're
you like
the
Luka.
best two-way in the league.
Like Luka. I get that.
So is he number 3? Number 1? Number 2?
No, he's 3 right now for me. He's 3 right now for me.
So after this playoffs, if he kills, he can take whichever one spot.
It depends.
Yo.
I think Yoke right now is number 1 pretty comfortably until he fucks up, which I don't see happening.
Well, he's been.
But when you're arguably the best two-way in the league, which Wemby 1000% is, you have a seat at the table.
So who was the best two-way in the league before Wemby? It was Giannis, right?
Giannis.
Who did you have as the best player in the league last year?
Yoke.
Interesting.
I kept it consistent. I think Yoke, especially considering playoff success,
Interesting. Very interesting.
you have to have that in account.
Wait, say that again?
You have to keep that in
So
account.
what did you say before?
no.
Playoff what?
Yes.
Playoff what?
He has a championship.
Right.
And on top of it, his numbers in the regular season are godly.
And
you
the
have to
numbers in
take
the
that
playoffs,
into
right?
account.
You have to take that's all I want. You have to take that into
Well,
account, right?
when we're talking about Yoke and Giannis,
Well, why we can't do that with Victor and Luka? Why do you?
because when I watch Wemby,
So why is it
Because
okay?
Wemby's like 14 years old. Oh man, I swear this guy keeps saying playoffs this, playoffs that. Watch a Spurs game. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. It sounds like you're only really watching the big games, you know? And then you just discredit everything else. That's what I'm saying. If you want to use the argument of big stage when the lights are bright and all that nonsense, then just bring up the Olympics. Just bring up the Olympics. And if you and honestly, if you say that the Olympics don't matter or it's not as big of a deal as the NBA Finals or whatever, I feel like you already just lost your argument. Or you say it's not as big as the playoffs, you already lost your argument. Just if you can just if this guy just brings up the Olympics and if he laughs at that, then he lost the argument. This is why you won't win this kind of argument. There's none, because it's like there's nothing Wemby can do. It's the same thing with the Defensive Player of the Year, man. Like I said, there was nothing we could do about it. Like when we were trying to argue or see all these weird takes out there about whether or not Wemby should win it, there was nothing we could say to them, because it's just he has to win games. And then we're like, well, what about his teammates? That doesn't matter. He has to win games. Okay, well, what about his defensive stats when the Spurs team defense when he's off the court versus on the court? It doesn't matter. He has to win games. None of it matters. Until Wemby is in the playoffs, no credit will be given. And then if Victor makes the playoffs and loses in the second round, it's not going to be given to him. It won't be given to him until they're literally in the finals, it sounds like.
Watching thing with them two.
because Yoke and Giannis are more accomplished, far more.
They needed Curry to have demon time to beat France. See, that's what I was saying too when I said that I would give Curry that possibly better than Wemby. I could possibly say that. That was one of those showings, right? The Olympics, who showed up? Yeah, that was crazy. Curry went off.
Or than Luka.
Luka is more accomplished than Victor.
But talent-wise, I look at defense and offense.
Why are you changing?
Because talent-wise, I'm still saying Yoke and Giannis are better.
Talent-wise, Luka's better.
Than who?
Victor.
Honestly, I'm not gonna exaggerate it. Talent-wise,
this is like I'm getting bothered. Thanks for the super chat, Anthony. He says, "Hey man, I think it's time to do a remix to this Spurs song I made. I want to add an opening to give a few slots for Spurs versus for a remix I want to do. Let's do it. Can you send me a message on Twitter? Wait, have we messaged on Twitter? This isn't the same person, is it? Your name looks different if you're the same person.
He might be more talented than Giannis. I don't know if he's more talented than Giannis.
I don't think I've ever seen a player lead a team to the NBA Finals that you thought it wasn't going to make the playoffs, by the way.
Who?
The Mavericks and Luka.
He did just do that.
Well, they also made moves at the trade deadline.
That weren't needle-moving moves, in your opinion.
No, I really was high on Gavin.
But
you can't say that.
You still thought they'd lose to the Clippers. They'd lose to the OKC Thunder. Right?
I did, after game one, say they were going to win the series against the Wolves.
I've never seen...
This will never be like... There's no argument that's going to be sound. I can't believe we went through this whole video. I said I wouldn't. I'll leave 2 minutes left on it. Yeah, anyways, shout out to Pick a Side. This was very entertaining. No hate towards any of these guys' way, right? I do think that he is a Spurs hater, like just from my vibes from all the videos we've seen. I think he might have been loving on Wemby a little too much, right? I think these are two sound individuals here, right? But every now and then they would say something that's just wrong. He would say something that's just wrong. And he would say something that's right. And they would say something that's wrong. I don't know. This went nowhere after the first 3 or 4 minutes. The problem was, I think, where people were like, this is getting too emotional. I think just as far as like the debate goes, I think that he was, at one point, he had them admitting the great things that Wemby's at. And rather than giving some open-ended follow-up questions to what he was saying, he immediately hopped on the difference between rim deterrence and rim protection, and then it went off the rails there. And it's like, bro, do not argue semantics. All right, do not argue semantics. Don't do that. It's not, when you start arguing semantics, it comes, and not saying he was doing this, but like it comes across as like desperate to make your point known rather than, you know, you're pretty confident in what you think. I don't know. That was fun though. That was very entertaining. Very entertaining. You say you're on IG? Okay. I'll check it. Ending segment. Facts. Yeah. You can't argue semantics.